Yes, that's how loud the pump is. This thing, when I first installed it, you couldn't even hear it run at that speed. You had to put your hand on it to determine whether it was turned on or not. And now it's making this racket. I'm betting it's a bearing, so we shall see. 9/16. The last bolt, I needed a long extension to reach it. And there she is. Oh, there's a clip there holding the fan. All right. If you're going to be pulling clips, I highly recommend safety glasses. 10mm Allen in the back. Hold the shaft and unscrew the impeller. We got 4 9/16 bolts holding. Mark the motor and the back plate so you can align it when you're putting it back together. Now let's try to pull this 4 anchor bolts around the motor. Okay, you need a T25 to get rid of these 4 screws from the bottom. You need to take the cap off to get to a screw that's hidden in there holding the back plate right there. So you got to get rid of the cover for the electronic box. So that's why you have to remove the top. There's a screw right in that hole that attaches to the back plate. And you can bang on that back plate as much as you want, but that screw will not let you get it out. Once you get it out, the ground cord will hold it again. You have to remove this screw and take the ground cord out. And there's the bearing. There's a pressure bearing right there next to the bearing. Okay, so the old bearing came out. And it is a 6203 6203 RS, I believe. It's a seal bearing. I use a 2-arm bearing puller. And the downside of these pullers is that once you pull out the bearing, you can't reuse it again. It's bad. You ruin the bearing. But this bearing was bad anyway, so I'm replacing it with a new 6203 ZZ. This one is shielded. It's not sealed, but it's shielded with metal. So we'll see how long this one lasts. This one is a Timken. I've had good results in motorcycle repairs using this type of bearing, the Timken bearings. So here it goes. Now to drive it in, I'm going to use a piece of galvanized pipe, 3/4 inch, 5 inch in length. And that is exactly the diameter of the inner race. So as long as I hit the inner race, it'll be okay. And there's the new back bearing fully seated. Now we're going to have to remove this 2 little screws here in the front so we can release the front bearing. I'm not taking any chances. I'm replacing them both. And that may be the reason why the bearings go bad. And it's important to put sealed bearings. Unfortunately, my bearings are not sealed, they're just shielded. So they may not last as long as this one. But by that time, I'll need a new motor anyway. So, all right, here we go. Let's clean it up. Now, pulling the front bearing. You're gonna need a clip remover. So get that tool. You're gonna need one of these. So that thing took me a long time to get it. Anyway, we're pulling the front bearing now. New bearing is in. Make sure that that clip washer is secured properly. And always wear protective eyeglasses for working with those clips. So now clean the magnets real good and start the reconstruction of the motor. Okay, make sure the pressure washer is in position there before you put the motor back together. It's that squiggly washer goes in the back there. And attach the ground wire to the back plate. So the pump is almost back together. And since I took it apart, I'm gonna go ahead and install a new seal. This video is not about installing seals, it was about installing the bearings, so I'm not gonna go in detail about how to do this. All I'm gonna say is that try not to touch the seal, the ceramic part, with your fingers. Don't to contaminate any of the seal. And be careful installing it. And now, trying to start, and it's a lot more quiet. I guess we'll call this a success. Started at 9:30 in the morning, breaked at 12:30 for lunch, came back out at 2 o'clock. It is now 3:30. So about 4.5 hours, and half an hour was to redo some wiring. But it seems to be a lot quieter now. Well, that's it. Now to the next project. Leave remarks down below. I'll answer any questions you may have, if I know the answer. And overall, I think it's not bad to delay the expenditure of $600 or $700 for a new pump for maybe a couple, 2 or 3 years. Good luck to you.